Welcome back to another class on Evean Hazaer Halacha series. We are in Siman Aleph in Halacha Yud in the Pitchet Yeshua in Ot Yudala. This will be part 11J. Please refer to the previous class because this is a continuation. Ve'erich me'od bezel ve'er, and he lengthened very much in this to explain Dehak amalta en gerua. That amalta is not a bad excuse. Actually, it's a good excuse. That is the reason number one why this guy could go ahead and get remarried. Number two, he says, V'gamen also, yesh l'saded, we can side with the av amalta en tzarich klab b'nidon didan. You don't even need an amalta over here in our case that is being judged at hand. Why? Lefi, because the chol shavya nafshe chaticha de surah da asrin alav v'lo mehani chazara ena b'toret vada ela mitoret safik. Now, there are many words that were said. I have to explain the concept. Rabotai, we have a concept over here that's called Shavia Anavshe Chaticha de Isura. Shavi means he makes Anavshe on himself, Chaticha, a piece of meat, de Isura, he makes this piece of meat, Asr on him. In simple English, this will mean when a person places self-imposing restrictions. That's what this literally means. Over here we're speaking about chaticha, but it doesn't necessarily have to be chaticha, it could be anything else. Over here it's literally going on a piece of meat, but it doesn't have to be a piece of meat, it could actually be anything else. What do I mean? A person comes and he says he suspects that his wife is being unfaithful. What did he do just now? He just imposed a restriction on himself that he could no longer live with her. So let's say like this, Reuven and Sarah, they're married for 20 years, and then one day, it hits Reuven, he sees Sarah every time speaking with Shimon, now he suspects that they're doing something wrong. The fact that he went ahead and he said that he suspects him that they're doing something wrong, and there's no witnesses, he's making his own wife asur on him, but he cannot forbid her, after of course he divorces her because he has to divorce her now, but he cannot go ahead and he cannot forbid her from marrying Shimon. Verses like this, if you have Reuven and Reuven was married to Sarah, and Sarah went ahead and she slept with Shimon, and you had two witnesses that caught her in the act, Rabotai, what's going to end up happening now? She can't marry Shimon and she has to divorce Reuven. But in this particular case, whenever you're dealing with Shavia and Nafsh Chaticha Deisur, whenever you're dealing with self-imposing restrictions, it only applies to the person himself, but not to no one else. Another case. A person had meat, right? Let's say you have over here meat. I don't know. Let's say this is a piece of meat. And the person says, this meat is not kosher. It's usher on me. Okay? You said it's usher on you? Fine, it's usher. Comes another guy and says, no, it's kosher. No. Once you say it's usher on you, once you restrict this meat from being consumed by you, for you it becomes usher, forbidden. For everybody else it's still mutar because it's kosher. In our situation with this guy where he said that he has a wife and a daughter in another place, what is he doing over here also? By saying that he has a wife and a daughter in another place, he is restricting this woman that he wants to get married to now. That is the problem that's going on over here. So one more time. Whenever you have the concept of Shavia and Navshe Chaticha Deisura, where a person goes and he makes a piece of meat usher on him, even though it's not usher, but if you say that it's usher, you believe that it's treif, good, you just forbid it on yourself. Same thing with one's wife, and same thing with this guy, that he said he has a wife and a daughter in another place, automatically no other woman is able to get married to him because of the cherem of Rabbeinu Gershom. So let's see that inside over here. We want to see why you don't need, we want to see why you don't need an amalta over here at all. That's what we want to see. So he said like this, why don't you need it? Lefi, because the whole Shavia Nafsh Chaticha Deisura, this whole concept of Shavia Nafsh Chaticha Deisura, the Asrin and Alav, that will make it Asr on him, V'lo Mihani Chazara, and by him retracting his words is not going to help. Ain't a bitoret vada. It's not because it's 100% sure. Elam mitoret safik. The reason why we made it usher on this guy and we don't allow him to retract is because we have a doubt. Which is what? The Shema Devar Varishonim Ikar, because maybe the first words when he said, they were the real words, they were the main words, that was the truth. And this that he's retracting now, Shakuri Mishake, he's lying. That's why this one we say that if a person goes ahead and makes Shavya Nafsh Chatikha de Surah, when he makes something asur on him, and then he says, oh, no, I take my words back. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Listen, for example, a guy, Reuven says, Sarah, his wife is unfaithful. And then he says, no, something, I just wanted to teach her a lesson. I don't want her to speak to Shimon no more. We can't trust him. Why? Because maybe what he was saying the first time around is really emet. It's really the truth. So why is he retracting? Because maybe he felt bad for Sarah. Maybe they have a lot of children. Maybe she's going to take 90% of his wealth. He doesn't want that. So now he wants to retract. So again, the reason why we make it usher on him and the chazara doesn't help him, the retracting doesn't help him, it's not because it's 100% asur on him. No, it's because it's a doubt to us. Because when he said it the first time, because why in the world would you want to put restrictions on yourself? So by you saying it the first time, that meant that was probably the truth. And now that you're retracting, maybe you're lying to us. So that's why we make it asur on you, because we have a doubt. V'imken, if so, Benidun didan, in our case at hand, with this guy that said that he has a wife in another place with her daughter, since we're dealing over here with the Cherem Rabbeinu Gershom, which after the 5,000 year, it's only a minhag, because remember the Cherem Rabbeinu Gershom expired by the 5,000th year. V'chol safek, here we go, Rabotai, and any safek when it comes to the Cherem Rabbeinu Gershom, like in our case, when the guy says, look, he had a wife in another place with a daughter, but now he's telling us, listen, I really didn't have it, so why'd you say it? Because I was ashamed. So now we have a doubt what he's saying, is it true or not? But there's a rule when it comes to the Cherem Rabbeinu Gershom. What's the rule? Whenever you have a suffix in the Cherem Rabbeinu Gershom, upel guto, whenever there's a machlok in the Cherem Rabbeinu Gershom, if we follow him or not, meaning are we going to allow this guy to get remarried to another woman? Azlinan likula. We go after the leniency. We go and we allow him to get remarried. The Bash wrote in Sivkat Chav Aleph. So therefore he says over here, maybe over here he can retract his words, av below amalta, even without an amalta, because since it's a suffix, what he's saying is true or not, I don't need an amalta. Once he retracts his words, that in itself is going to be enough, because I have to go after the leniency. Because look, Rabotai, when it comes to Shavya Nafsh Chatikha D'Isur, this is a real halacha. Over here we're going to tell you, since we answer it on the person because of a suffix, so you would have thought, let's do the same thing by this guy, but you can't, because we're dealing over here with a custom. And by the custom, since it already expired and only it's a custom, so whenever you have a suffix and a machlokit, we're going to tell you to be lenient. So that's what he's telling over here. Comes the Pitchit Shu and he quotes, the Sefer Beit Ephraim, and he says over here, maybe you don't even need an amalta. When are we going to tell you that the amalta doesn't help you, right? When are we going to tell you that you can't go back, you can't retract? That's specific in the situation where it's a real prohibition, when we're dealing with something real. Like Chas v'Shalom, a person makes his wife forbidden on him, he suspects her, or he makes a piece of meat not kosher on him. Over in our case, I could have also thought that this woman that he wants to marry now should also be asur on him. But I can't do that. Why? Because the whole reason why over here, when a person goes ahead and he self-imposes a restriction on himself, the whole reason why it's asur, it's only because of a doubt. That's why it's asur on him. But in our situation, since it's a minhag, and by the minhag, when it's a suffix, we tell you go be lenient. So over here, I have a rule to tell you that you're allowed to be lenient. That's what comes to Pitchit Shu, and he says over here in our situation, with this guy, he has two reasons. Right now we're seeing there's going to be more other, but there's two reasons why he's able to go ahead and get remarried. Number one, maybe the amalta is it's a very good amalta. Listen, 30 years old, not being married, you think he's just going to stop saying it? It's an embarrassment not to be 30 years old, chas v'shalom, and not be married. People already have 4 or 5 kids, right, by that age. So it's an embarrassment. So maybe really it's a good amalta. It's a good excuse. Number two, I can give you another reason why he could get remarried. because you don't need an amalta. When can I tell you need an amalta, or when can I tell it's not even going to help you? Right? We'll see, Rabotai. It goes back and forth, 30 days, not 30 days, like we saw before. But when am I going to tell you, Rabotai, that a person cannot retract his words? That's where Shavya Nafsh Chatik Disura, where a person made something asur on himself, and over there we make it asur on him only because it's a doubt to us. Maybe he's lying. But in this situation, Rabotai, since it's only a custom, and by the custom we said whenever you have a doubt, be lenient, there's no reason to asur this guy from getting married, and he's actually able to go ahead and get remarried. So Rabotai, let's just see that inside one more time. And he lengthened very much in this to explain. That amalta is not a bad amalta. Vigam, and also Yeshel said that you can side with. You don't even need no amalta in our case that is being judged at hand. Why? Lefi, because the whole Shavya Nafsh Chatik Disura, the Asrin Allah v'lo mehane al Chazara, ain't betor vada ela mitoret safik. Because this whole concept of Shavya Nafsh Chatik Disura, that we say that it becomes usher on the person, and when he retracts his words, it doesn't help. It's not 100%. It's usher on him. No, we make it, Rabotai, usher on him because we have a doubt. Why is that? The Shema Devar Varishonim Ikar. Maybe his first words are emet, or and this is what he's retracting. He's lying. And if so, if this is what we're dealing over here with in the case of Shavya Nafsh Chatika Disura, but in our case, Benidun Didan, since after the 5,000 years, it's only a custom. Anytime you have a doubt to allow the guy to go and get remarried or not, or you have a machlok amongst the rabbis, or in the community whether he should get remarried or not, azlinen likula, we go after the leniency, like the Bash wrote in Sivkat Chav Aleph, ulai mehani chazara av below malta. Maybe we could tell you in our case, since it's only a minhag, and then we go after the suffix, and we tell you whenever there's a suffix, you're gonna have to be lenient. So maybe we're gonna tell you don't need an amalta, and he could just retract by saying, listen, that's not what I meant. I take my words back. Really, Rabotai, I don't, right? He could have said he doesn't have a wife in another place, he has no daughter in another place, and he doesn't have to give us an excuse to why he said initially that he had a daughter and a wife in another place. So as of now, we're heading towards the direction why this guy is able to go ahead and get remarried, or not remarried, but why he's able to go ahead and get married to this woman that he met in the place that he moved to. Tomorrow, Be'ezrat Hashem, we're going to see the Pidchot Shu is going to start speaking about, but you have to understand that we're dealing with a very big, very sensitive case. Why did he keep on saying that he has a wife and a child in another place for such a long time? We clearly saw yesterday that once you have chazaka, once it's nitchazek, more than 30 days, once you held onto his words more than 30 days, and it's a chazaka, nothing should help you. So however you want to completely erase everything. So he's going to say tomorrow we're going to start Vigam dinu shalabash be'inyan achla yom eina muchlat. Also this halacha of the bash, that where he said that after 30 days, correct, that the amalta doesn't help you, that's not 100% decisive. We'll see tomorrow why this is not. Be'ezrat Hashem b'lineder, Rabotai, have a great day. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen ve'amen.